All right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions, and this one is called the orchestrated hit of Diddy's former bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, shot in Atlanta. I know a lot of y'all has heard about Wolf. You know what I'm saying? They saying Diddy's kid is Wolf's son, Justin. He was a big boss. Well, I'm gonna let the video explain it, man. I'm sure they're gonna tell it in here. So let's get familiar for those who don't know, and let's react live. Let's go.
This was about some gangster shit, you know, some like this girl knocks Wolf hats off in the club. She was actually pregnant by Wolf.
When they came outside, they said he got the shooting, and you know, unfortunately, he lost his life.
The final hours.
On November 10th, 2003, Atlanta, Georgia was still riding high off its crown as the South's new hip-hop capital. But for Anthony Wolf Jones, this night would be his last.
They were at a party, and it was a young lady that was actually pregnant by Wolf. You know, she was over there with another dude, and Wolf said something to her, and she came and knocked his hat off his head, and Wolf snatched her up.
Wolf pulled up to Club Chaos, a hotspot in Buckhead, where the streets and the stars often cross paths. The club was packed, and the head of the infamous Black Mafia family, Big Meech, was holding court with his people. But Wolf wasn't just there at the party. Word is, he was chasing something personal, a woman from his past, an ex-girlfriend that was hanging out with the guy in Big Meech's circle.
Always a woman,
she
man.
was with this other dude, and she 3-4 months pregnant by Wolf. So she's with this other kid fronting with this kid when she actually really wanted Wolf.
What happened inside the club depends on who you ask, but what's clear is this: Wolf got into it with the woman loudly. Big Meech stepped in to protect her.
She comes, knocks his hat off, he grabs up. So Meech says something to him, but when do you start talking to Wolf? You know, like that.
Some say Meech swung first. Others say Wolf wouldn't back down. But by the time security broke it up, Wolf was the one getting tossed out into the streets. Now, the party was still going strong inside, but outside, the air was changing. By 4 a.m., Club Chaos was shutting down.
4
Meech and his
a.m.
bodyguard headed out to their SUV, thinking the night was over. But Wolf and his friend, Riz, were already out there, waiting. Both were strapped. Both were heated. Wolf hadn't calmed down since the fight in the club. If anything, he'd gotten more reckless. Word is, they weren't just planning to talk. What happened next wasn't caught on camera, but the aftermath spoke loud and clear. Words were exchanged, voices rose, and then all hell broke loose.
Wolf decides to, when they come outside, he shoots at Meech and them, which caught Meech in his buttock. If you get caught in the buttocks, you're going in the opposite direction. So you didn't want it. Meech ain't want to do nothing to him because Meech had enough people and he had enough crew outside that he could handle that stuff.
Gunshots ripped through the early morning dark.
Oh, that's the part I didn't know. I didn't know that he actually shot Meech. I knew that altercation was between him and Meech, but I didn't know he actually shot Meech in the butt. Okay.
Dozens of rounds flew across the asphalt. Shells bounced off pavement. Clubgoers ducked behind cars. The chaos was instant, aggressive, and loud. Meech had taken a bullet to the back, but was still alive. Then, a man that Wolf knew began to approach him. He was someone Wolf had brought into the fold, a friend, someone he had personally introduced to Black Mafia family as muscle for hire. That night, as he approached Wolf in the parking lot, Wolf didn't draw his weapon. He didn't feel threatened. He didn't expect retaliations, because in his mind, this was someone he trusted. But that trust cost him his life.
He was in a shootout with a couple of guys from BMF, and allegedly the guy he put down with BMF is the one got close enough to kill.
Without warning and with full access to get close, the shooter turned on Wolf, point blank. No hesitation, no warning shot, just cold, efficient betrayal.
When Meech came out, it was a brief little shootout. And then the dude that Wolf put down with Meech and them, kid that was from Brooklyn, he was walking toward Wolf and them. So Wolf and them like, yo, I guess they like, that's my man and everything like that. But damn, now he working for Meech and them. And he shot Wolf and Riz.
When it stopped, 2 men were down. Wolf.
Damn, loyalty for hire, man. That's called loyalty for hire. This is your boy. You bring him to Big Meech. You let him get in the fold of the BMF fold. And when a shootout happened, you thinking he ain't gonna trip on you, and you just shot Big Meech. You think he ain't gonna trip. This is my day one. This is my homie right here. And he walk up and he the one that kill you. Wow. Wow. Damn, that's cold.
lay wounded, bleeding into the pavement. Riz was already gone. He was shot on the scene. When paramedics arrived, they found a scene straight out of a movie. Bodies on the ground, bullet casings everywhere, blood staining the concrete beneath the Atlanta skyline. Wolf was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital. He didn't make it. Anthony Wolf Jones was pronounced dead that morning. He was 36. The morning after the Club Chaos shooting, Atlanta woke up to a headline straight out of a crime novel. 2 deceased, Big Meech wounded, Diddy's former bodyguard gone. The news hit hard, not just in the streets, but in boardrooms, studios, and corner stores across the country. Because Anthony Wolf Jones wasn't just another name caught in the cycle. He was a known figure, feared, respected, connected. On November 19th, 2003, the Riverside Church in Upper Manhattan filled with mourners, family, friends, Bad Boy affiliates. Sean P. Diddy Combs, who was rumored to pay for the farewell service, slipped in through a side entrance. No press, no statements, just presence. Strange, given they had been so close while...
This dude is really Ghost, man. Diddy is really like Ghost, bruh, off of Power. He living like a triple life. This is crazy.
Wolf had been alive, at least according to some.
Wolf was not really security. Wolf was one of the individuals that gave Bad Boy their starting money. He was getting a security check for Social Security reasons and all that.
Anthony Wolf Jones was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, a product of Eldenwall projects, the kind of neighborhood where respect came fast, or not at all. And Wolf, he earned his early. Even as a teenager, people said Wolf was different, calculated, cool under pressure. But don't get it twisted, he was built for confrontation.
As if he worked security. Yes, Wolf was a gangster. So Wolf was not really security, but he's security because who he is. He didn't have to work he didn't have no schedule to work. Wolf just would puff at the parties and at the events. You know what I mean?
He came up alongside Sean Diddy Combs, back when Bad Boy Records was more hustle than empire. As Puff built the label, Wolf was right there beside him, not in the studio, but in the shadows. Wolf wasn't just the bodyguard. He was a fixer, a protector, the kind of man who walked into a room and didn't have to speak to command attention. He was muscle.
A loud shout, and it was like, now what, Slick? Now what, Slick? Slick, now what? I looked over there. It was this guy, Wolf, that I didn't know at the time, in the middle of the party, and everybody running crazy. You know what I'm saying? It appeared to me that he may have did the shooting in the air, but I didn't know for sure.
In 1995, Wolf was allegedly involved in the hit of Jake Robles, a known affiliate of Suge Knight and Death Row Records. It happened in Atlanta. A party, an argument, a gun. Jake was shot and hit. Police suspected Wolf. He was never charged, but some say that night lit the match on the East Coast West Coast rap war.
Did they ever find out who?
Well, the guy that's supposed to kill him is supposed to be in, now.
Wolf?
Yeah.
Who was Puffy's right-hand man.
Yeah.
His muscle.
Yeah.
His name made national news again in 1999. Club New York. That infamous night with Puff, J-Lo, and rapper Shine. Gunfire. Chaos. 3 people shot. Wolf and Diddy were arrested together. Guns found.
Sheesh. This is crazy. Look at all the behind-the-scenes stuff that was a part of the East Coast, West Coast beef. Everybody always look at Pac and Biggie. Nah, they was just, they was just the palms, like the face. It was all the muscles and the street niggas behind the scenes that made the East Coast, West Coast shit. They was just the voices. They was just the voices on the microphone rapping about the shit. But it was Suge and all his boys, and then Diddy and all his boys seeing each other, shooting at each other, killing each other. And that's what spiraled everything. Wolf the man. You see what they saying about Wolf? He the man. Diddy just a little dog at this time. He had to get money from Wolf to start Bad Boy. This the dog. This the real boss right here.
Found in the car. The trial was a media circus. But in 2001, Diddy walked, and so did Wolf, acquitted, loyal to the end. After that, Wolf was supposed to be done with the drama. He told his lawyer he was ready to turn the page.
When everything is good, everything is good. But Wolf was a boss, you understand? Wolf just wasn't no security type dude. Wolf had admirations to do things bigger and better.
But instead of leaving the life behind, he took it to Atlanta, the new hip-hop capital, and home to one of the most powerful street organizations in America. America, the Black Mafia family. Wolf linked up with Big Meech, the face of BMF. Their friendship ran deep. Both were larger than life. Both knew how to move in silence, but shine in the spotlight. Together, they partied with rappers, hosted VIP nights, and, according to law enforcement, rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest names in dope trafficking.
You know, Corey is released now. He had admirations to own a club. He was trying to get this club down in Miami with John Sally's brother, Mike Sally. I think it was 321, 123, 321, something like it was over on Lincoln Avenue. It's where Jennifer Lopez gave Puff his birthday party at. So I think they had a chance to buy it, and Wolf wanted his money.
Wolf was never officially listed as a BMF member, but make no mistake, he was in the circle. Rumor is, he had even introduced the guy that shot him to Big Meech.
The dude who got close to Wolf was the dude who that he put down with BMF. It was this dude from Brooklyn that he put down because he needed some money. He was a shooter. Yo, Meech, look out for my man. Put him on your payroll. You need somebody to do work for you, just like that. Whoop they whoop. He did that. You understand? And that's the dude who shot him in ribs.
Officially?
That's cold. That's cold. A boss goes out his way to make sure he talk to another boss to get you a gig. You my partner. I got you. I'm going to put you on with, you know what I mean? I'm out here in Atlanta now. I ain't in New York no more, but you from New York too. We came up together. But I'm in Atlanta running it up, and this is who running it up in Atlanta too. I'm going to put you with him. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm going to put you with him. And then you get in the circle, and then when me and him fall out, and we get into a gunfight, you the one that come run up and shoot me. Dang, that's dirty, bruh.
The Club Chaos shooting was just another nightclub fight that spiraled out of control. Unofficially, the streets told a different story. The first theory was simple: pride. According to witnesses, it started over a woman.
He wasn't there. Somebody called him and told him that this girl was over there. So he came from where he was. I think he was at Magic City. He came from over there to come here to grab this girl up.
Despite being pregnant with Wolf's child, she was hanging out with someone in Meech's circle, and someone called Wolf and told him that they spotted her at the club. When he pulled up, things got heated and spiraled out of control.
I knew the young lady who they got into it with, and I wouldn't say she was, and I think Wolf was really in love with her. We all just had a trip together overseas. We were all in Marrakesh, and so, he was in his feelings about that. Was his girl.
So yeah, maybe it was about a woman, but some believe that wasn't the whole story. In the streets, trust isn't always what you can prove. It's what people believe. And when
you know what's crazy? The downfall of every king, every empire, is a woman. Every time. God damn. The power of pussy, man. Niggas will throw it all away. Ego. Pussy. That shit is crazy. These niggas is two bosses, bro, and he loses life over going to chase his bitch that's in the club fucking with another nigga. Obviously, she for the streets, my boy. She belonged to the streets.
When Anthony Wolf Jones was gunned down in that parking lot, one name kept coming up: Sean Diddy Combs. The theory? That the man who Wolf once protected may have wanted him gone. The bond between Wolf and Diddy was deeper than most bodyguard artist relationships. Wolf had been Diddy's enforcer for years, took charges for him, beat trials with him, loyal to the bone. But after that 1999 Club New York shooting, when Shine took the fall and Diddy walked free, some people say Wolf started drifting away. After the trial, Diddy distanced himself from the street element that helped build Bad Boy. And Wolf, he was the streets. Now, on the surface, Wolf and Diddy had history. Wolf was more than a bodyguard. He was a partner in the grind. But here's where—
Hey, look, just real quick, sorry to stop it again, but this might have flew over y'all head. This part might have just flew over y'all head. So you heard when they said Shine took the rap? And then y'all know the original story was it was two guys that was shooting in the club, Diddy and another guy. So that's who it was Diddy and Wolf that really was shooting the club. And a woman got shot in the ear and she sued and Diddy paid her off. Because she was the only witness. Everybody else wasn't talking. But she got shot. So she's like, I need my money. And Diddy paid her off. Boom. Diddy took the time and Wolf got on and went to Atlanta. And Diddy went on to be one of the biggest music execs in the fucking game.
where things get sticky. Back in the early days of Bad Boy, when it was just starting out, Wolf fronted Diddy $300,000, his own money, an investment, a show of loyalty. He believed in the vision and he put skin in the game. But as time went on, that debt stayed unpaid. Wolf wanted to do his own thing, branch out, stand on his own name. So he asked for it back. No threats, no retaliations, just business. But Diddy kept giving him the runaround, excuses, delays, promises that never came through. And Wolf, he wasn't the kind of man you could play games with.
Puff was putting a battery in Wolf back, talking about, I don't need you no more. When I get this, do this Universal deal, I'm gonna give you $300,000 and leave you the f alone. Wolf said, you could never leave me alone. You understand? He said, but them guys ain't tough like you think they are. So he putting a battery in this kid's back.
Some say that the money became the line in the sand. Wolf felt disrespected, used. Loyalty only goes so far when someone's holding your bread hostage.
He wanted to move on and he needed his money, I guess, that he put up, or, you know, Wolf said it was $300,000. You know, I heard from a couple other people it was probably a little bit more than that. But Wolf, I heard him say in the office, I had $300,000, man, when I first started messing with you, bro. I had $300,000. You understand? And $300,000. I'm gonna stop. And then Puff said, yo, I'm gonna get your money. I'm gonna get your money. When I do this Universal, I think a Universal deal or something like that, he said, I'm gonna get your money. And he said that when I get your money, I'm gonna stop with you. And Wolf said, you gonna always with me. And they start like wrestling. Wolf started roughing him over in the office. I was laughing.
When Wolf moved down to Atlanta, he wasn't just relocating. He was building new alliances, getting close to Big Meech, linking up with BMF, making moves without Diddy.
You know what I'm saying? But they have relationships. They traveled went to Africa and hung out on boats and stuff like that.
Some folks say that didn't sit right. There's talk Diddy felt exposed, so Diddy reached out to Big Meech and talked about hiring them as his new muscle, icing Wolf out.
But Wolf don't care. He said, yo, them niggas ain't like that. I'm telling you. He ain't like that. You understand?
Dirty, man.
Talking about, I don't need you no more. I don't need you no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
And right before Wolf was a former Bad Boy exec filed a lawsuit that pulled everything back up. Said Diddy had ordered Wolf to kill Robles in the first place, putting that in writing in court. And weeks later, Wolf was coincidence? Maybe. But for some, the timing was too perfect. Now,
bruh, what? This nigga, Diddy, see, this was what I'm saying, y'all. All this shit was in plain sight. Forever. People knew all this shit. This nigga was really ghost, y'all. He was ghost. Come on, y'all. Look, it's literally, we're watching right now. We can put two and two together, right? So why the fuck can't nobody else? Money, power, respect, man. Money, power, respect. And the moment you start feeling the power too much, and the moment you start kicking in the money, you stop kicking in the money, they strip you of your respect, and they tear your ass down. So that let me know Diddy had motherfucking people in his pocket. And I've been saying that, and y'all know that too. Y'all know that too. Diddy was cold. This nigga was getting away with murder. Bro, Diddy, you fucking had the world in the palm of your hands, and you blew it, bro.
Not only that, but rumors also began to spread that Wolf wasn't just Diddy's bodyguard. He was the real father of Justin Combs, Diddy's oldest son. Justin was born in 1993, around the time when Wolf was closest to Diddy, working security, moving in the bad boy circle, and protecting the empire from the ground up. And the mother, Misa Hilton, a stylist and designer with ties to both men. People close to the situation noticed the timing, noted the resemblance, and most of all, they remembered how personal things started to feel between Wolf and Diddy in the years that followed.
How do you?
Oh my God. Hey, bro. That's wild.
Your son look just like your best friend / bodyguard.
See, the only light-skinned son.
$300,000 to help Bad Boy get started.
After Wolf's death, Atlanta police moved quickly. Demetrius Big Meech Tenori and his bodyguard, Amin Bull Height, were both arrested. Within hours of checking into a hospital with gunshot wounds, Meech had taken one to the backside. Height was also hit. Both were treated, then booked for counts of homicide. It looked like an open and shut case. They had suspects. They had motive. They had bullets, but what they didn't have was witnesses, clubgoers, security, employees. Nobody wanted to talk because by 2003, BMF had a reputation. Even when police knew who was likely responsible, they couldn't prove it. Meech claimed self-defense, said Wolf and Riz ambushed him, that he was leaving the club and they were waiting, that they drew first and he shot back. And with no witnesses, no video footage, no forensic gun, prosecutors had to let the case go. The hit charges were dropped. Quietly, no trial, no justice.
Was his murder solved? So it's unsolved. But you heard the same rumors I heard.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Just another case swallowed up by fear, silence, and the codes of the streets. Today, there's still no one officially held responsible for Wolf's death. Rest in peace, Anthony.
Damn. Rest in peace to Wolf. Rest in peace to Wolf, man. Crazy story, right? I know some of y'all been hearing it. If you didn't know, a lot of y'all knew this story already or probably seen this video or whatever. But for those who didn't know, and they've been hearing his name come up during this trial, Wolf, it's crazy. And now that you guys have seen Diddy's character come to life or be exposed in this trial, now hearing these actions that are done, it sound like shit Diddy would do, right? The nigga told him, nigga, I need my 300,000 back. The nigga said, shit, nigga, I give it to you when I give it to you, nigga. And then was like, nigga, I'm gonna get with BMF. I'm gonna hire them. I see you down there with them. I'm gonna hire them as the bodyguards, nigga. I'm gonna hire them. Then all of a sudden, you know, some shit transpired between you and Wolf. Next thing you know, BMF turn on you and kill you. And they saying it's over a girl, but was it really over the girl? Was it something deeper? That's what still remains. Until this day, nobody has been caught. Nobody's guilty. And the son looks dead ass like Wolf. Now that's diabolical. You take this nigga baby mama, which was, y'all probably both was hidden. You take the baby mama and then you take his son after he dies. You take his son and raise him as yours and claim him as yours and not as your homeboy's son that you taking care of. That's some evil, sinister shit. That's some sinister shit. Let me know what y'all think, though, man. Do y'all believe it? Now, I mean, rest in peace to Wolf, man. I definitely didn't know about, I knew that him and Big Meech had gotten to it and that the boy that he put on with BMF shot him, but I didn't know he actually shot Big Meech that night. So that was something new I just learned right now. But I knew they got into that altercation, and that's how he died. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Smash the like button, and let's keep these reactions going, y'all. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.